Welcome to our tip of the week. Today, we're going to talk about parole in place. We're going to discuss what it is, who can apply for it, what are the requirements, and how the process goes once you've requested it. Join me. My name is Andres Mejer, and I'm an immigration attorney, and I'm also an immigrant myself. I came to the U.S. as a child and couldn't speak English. My parents paid an immigration attorney to help us get our green cards, who did nothing but take our money and waste our time. My parents couldn't get a legal job or even a legal driver's license back then. A mistake an immigrant could make, trust me, we did it at least once. Why? Because we lived twice in Chile, twice in Israel, twice in the United States. I came to the US as a child not speaking English. I moved to Israel as an adult not speaking Hebrew. So mistakes, immigrant experience, I've lived it multiple times. My goal is to help you avoid all the mistakes that me and my family make. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I create these videos, to spread information and give immigrants knowledge they will need to deal with the immigration system and help them solve their specific situation. If you need help with your immigration issue, give us a call. If you get value from these videos, please like our page, subscribe to it, and share our video with others. So today, we're going to talk about parole in place. Parole in place allows a foreign national who came to the United States without by an immigration officer to stay for a certain period of time. Parole in place is granted on a case-by-case basis for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit. Applicants may be eligible for parole in place in 1-year increments if he or she is the spouse, widower, parent, son, or daughter of either an active duty member in the U.S. Armed Forces or that relative was honorably discharged from service. That means someone's either working for the military now, or they were and they ended their relationship with the Army on good terms. In other words, they weren't kicked out. They left after completing their contract for a period. And this can also include reserves. Applicants will receive work authorization, legal entry, and protection from deportation. Parole in place is like DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. So deferred action for childhood arrivals, medical deferred action, or military deferred action is essentially the same thing, meaning there's a certain group of people that if they meet criteria will get protection from deportation and work authorization. DACA are the dreamers. So that is a regulation, or I should say an executive order, that it's a group of individuals that get protection from deportation and work authorization. Medical deferred action, which I've talked about before, is similar, but that's again, people who have a severe medical condition and they have to apply and get approved for it. Well, parole in place is the same thing, except the group that gets the benefit are the family members of those that are in the military. So no one should have to serve their country, and while doing so and putting their life in danger, worry that their family is going to get deported while that happens. And that's why parole in place was created. Now, what are the requirements? Well, first of all, a form DD-214, it's the military form showing proof of service for your relative. You also need to show that your relative is your relative. So if it's your father, well, your birth certificate should show it. If it's your spouse, marriage certificate. If it's your child's birth certificate should show that you're the parent. Photos, letters of support, and then you have to show that you're a good moral character. You're a good moral person, meaning you haven't done something that would disqualify you. So FBI background check, motor vehicle background check, showing that there's no significant crimes goes a really long way. Proof that you're paying taxes, proof that you're a member of society. Maybe you're involved in a church, maybe you're involved in organizations. Do you have children? How long have you been in the United States? Proof that you've been here the time that you've been here. All of that goes to show that you're a good person and you deserve to get this benefit. So let's talk about the steps. The first thing we do for every client is a background check. That's FBI, motor vehicle, and every document filed by immigration. If you were ever detained for any reason, I want to know about it. If you were ever arrested for any reason, I want to know about it, because we're going to need a disposition. So this is to make sure there isn't something that disqualifies you when we file for parole in place. Parole in place is discretionary. So it is a very low standard to deny you. DUI, domestic violence, shoplifting charges, All of those could be a basis to deny your application. Step 2 is gather documents. What documents? Well, those are the ones that I just described. Birth certificates, tax returns, maybe bills, proof that you've been in the United States the time that you said you're in the United States, FBI, motor vehicle, and anything filed with immigration. So that could be anywhere from weeks to months, depending on what documents that you need. Step 3 is you have to prepare and mail the parole in place package. Now, it's Form I-131. And again, like every application that we do for immigration, there's paperwork, there's an application. In this case, it's Form I-131. And there's supporting documents. Which supporting documents? Well, it's a case-by-case basis, but generally, proof of your relationship with a relative who's in the military, proof that that individual is in the military or discharged, and then that you're a good person that deserves to get this. And those are the 3 broad categories. Once we put the package together with those supporting documents, we mail it. Step 4, USCIS receives the package and sends us the receipt. Step 5 is USCIS schedules your biometrics appointment. USCIS stands for United States Citizen and Immigration Services. And then step 6 is they set up an appointment to give you your parole in place stamp. That means you've been approved. You may get an interview, but if you have an interview, it's because there's a problem. So you definitely should consider consulting an immigration attorney before going to that interview. If you did step 1 in the background check and you had it reviewed by an immigration attorney, this likely would not be happening to you. But step 6 is you're going to go and get that stamp, and that gives you that status. And number 7 is you're going to be able to apply for a work permit or adjustment of status. Parole in place, unlike DACA and unlike medical deferred action, gives you legal status. So if you enter the United States without permission and you now get parole in place, you now have a legal entry. Why is that important? Because if you have a relative who's a U.S. citizen, and look, you have a relative that's in the military and either a green card holder or a U.S. citizen. So that means that individual will become a U.S. citizen at some point. You now have legal entry with an immediate relative. You will be able to file for your green card inside the United States. That is a separate process, but parole in place, we frequently use it for people who might not otherwise be able to get their green card inside the United States. So thanks to everyone who watches, likes, shares, and asks us questions. If there is a particular topic or situation you'd like me to explore, leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to get back to you or maybe create a video to clarify any issue or questions you have. If you know someone who can get value from this video, please share it with them. Having the right information at the right time can make a huge difference in someone's life. Stay healthy and be well.